We've all thought about it, haven't we? You spend years, maybe decades, building toward a big life change, like, say, retirement. You plan for it, dream about it, and then it happens. And maybe it feels a bit flat, anticlimactic even.
Absolutely. That feeling is surprisingly common.
But what if that end is actually a huge beginning waiting to happen?
Exactly. And that's what we're exploring today. We're doing a deep dive into the story of Curt Roese. At 61, he didn't just retire, he completely reinvented what that stage of life could look like.
Sounds fascinating.
Oh, it really is. Our sources here give us this incredibly rich personal story from Curt himself. Lots of insights, some real challenges he faced, and those aha moments that just change everything.
So what's our goal with this deep dive?
Well, we want to unpack how Curt took that feeling of burnout and this unexpected void that opened up and turned it into something vibrant and purposeful. He did this alongside his wife, Shari, which is a key part of the story, too.
Yeah.
And crucially, we want to see how his journey might spark something for you. For anyone listening who's thinking about their own next chapter, whatever that might be.
Okay, let's start at that moment then.
Yeah.
June 2023. Curt Roese steps down as CFO. He's 61. But you mentioned it was anticlimactic.
Yeah, very much so. Because of all the remote work stuff that started during the pandemic, there was no big party, no gold watch. He said one day he was deep in spreadsheets and virtual meetings.
And the next.
The next, his access to company systems was just cut off. That was it. Poof. Retired. It sounds quite abrupt, doesn't it?
It really does, like hitting a wall almost.
It was. A sudden stop to that daily rhythm he'd had for so long. And that immediate emptiness, he said, led to this feeling he called a familiar void.
Familiar. So he'd felt something like it before.
Yes, that's the interesting part. Initially, he and Shari kept busy. They sold their condo, bought a house needing a remodel, so that took up energy for a bit.
Kept the void at bay, maybe.
For a while, yes. But underneath, that restlessness started creeping back in once the main renovation push was over. And it connected back to an earlier time in his life. Between 1998 and 2008, he'd built a custom home building company in Central Florida.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, started it from scratch, grew it into an award-winning business. He poured everything into it, found immense satisfaction there.
So he knew that feeling of building something his own.
Yeah.
But 2008, that was a tough year for builders.
Devastating. The recession hit, and he lost everything he'd built. Just wiped out.
Ouch. That must have left a mark.
Absolutely. But it also taught him something powerful. He still had that deep desire to build again, that entrepreneurial itch. But this time, he wanted to do it differently. Smarter, maybe?
How so?
He started dreaming of an online business. Something without the huge financial risks of the first venture, no physical offices, no employees to manage. None of the things that amplified the crash last time.
So learning from the past but not being trapped by it?
Exactly. It's not about forgetting the tough times, but adapting the lessons. He kept the core dream creating, building, but changed the method to avoid the old pitfalls. That let the entrepreneurial spirit come back, just in a new way.
That's really insightful. Okay, so retirement sets in. He's got this simmering desire to build online.
Yeah.
What happens next? Our sources mentioned he started facing some old regrets.
Yes, and this is where it gets really interesting. One big one was his first go at college, back at the University of Akron. He felt, kind of disconnected from it at the time.
Didn't really engage with it?
Apparently not, and he joked for years, literally years, that if he ever hit the lottery, he'd go get a master's degree. Specifically from Ohio State, that was the running joke.
Huh. We all have those if I won the lottery dreams.
Yeah.
But why tackle that specific regret now?
I think it tapped into something deeper, like an unfinished intellectual journey, maybe a sense of what if. That lottery joke wasn't just a joke, it was hiding a real longing for a different kind of learning experience. Then, about 7 months into retirement, January 2024, something clicked. He felt this real surge of energy, of momentum. And instead of just talking about someday, he went for it.
He applied.
He applied to the University of Florida's Masters in Entrepreneurship program, a pretty prestigious program. And listen, this wasn't easy. He had to face, as he put it, his less than stellar 40-year-old GPA.
Oh, wow. Digging up the old transcripts.
Exactly. And get this, he was told he'd actually be on academic probation before he even started because of that old record.
That's tough. Starting behind the 8-ball, essentially. What was it like getting accepted after all that?
He said the email landed in April 2024, and the feeling was just immense, both thrilling and terrifying all at once. It was real validation.
Okay.
And there's this great little detail Curt and Shari drove down to the campus together, held hands walking around, took pictures, bought a bunch of gator gear.
Making it real, sharing the moment.
Totally. It really symbolized their joint commitment to this new adventure. And it ties into Curt's mindset at the time. He shared his mantra. As you get older, you begin to realize time is getting shorter, and my wife and I want to live a full, exciting life with no regrets. Keep exploring life to its fullest until we can't.
Wow. That's powerful.
Isn't it? It shows that tackling those old regrets, the ones that linger, can seriously fuel your life with new purpose. Acting on those some days really matter.
Living a full, exciting life with no regrets.
I like that. And it seems this wasn't just about academics for Curt, right? He tackled another big regret area.
That's right. It became a more holistic thing. He decided to confront a lifelong struggle with his weight and health. This was something deeply personal, something that had kind of chipped away at his confidence over the years, even with all his professional success.
So the academic challenge spurred on a physical one, or vice versa.
It seemed like they fed each other. The courage he found to apply for the master's program seemed to unlock the resolve to focus on his health, too.
And he made real progress. Huge progress. He hit his lowest weight since 1980, a major personal milestone.
That's incredible. Was Shari involved in this part, too?
Very much so. She was right there with him. They started doing Pilates together several times a week, apparently. And they love hiking, especially up in Blowing Rock, North Carolina. They'd go hiking together there.
That shared activity must have helped.
Absolutely. And this physical transformation wasn't just about losing weight. He talked about how it gave him this massive confidence boost that just spread into everything else he was doing.
Permeated every aspect, as he put it.
Yeah, that's the phrase he used. It really highlights how tackling one big challenge, especially something physical, can ripple outwards. That new confidence wasn't just about how he looked or felt physically. It fueled his studies. It gave him more courage for the entrepreneurial stuff he was thinking about. It's like strengthening your personal foundations helps you take bigger leaps elsewhere.
That makes total sense. Okay, so he's got this renewed confidence. He's deep in his master's program. How did that lead to the actual business idea? You mentioned he found the modern education landscape quite different.
Oh, yeah, completely different. Everything online classes, discussions, group projects. And those group projects were, well, a learning experience.
Laughs, I can imagine.
He even joked with a professor saying, in the real world, I could just fire the non-performers.
Probably not the done thing in academia.
Probably not. But dealing with those dynamics, the virtual collaboration, accountability, it got him thinking about community and support in a new way.
So the challenges sparked ideas.
Exactly. And then came the pivotal moment. He was up early one morning, kitchen counter, cup of coffee, just brainstorming. 3 hours later, he's got 20 bits of paper scattered around.
The classic creative mess.
Totally. And somewhere in that mess was the core concept for what would become his business. The name wasn't there yet, but the essence was.
And what was that essence? What need did he see?
He realized he wanted to help people like him, people nearing or in retirement, figure out how to build, as he put it, vibrant, fulfilling, financially secure futures. Lives without regrets, lives with stories worth telling the grandkids. He saw that familiar void wasn't just his problem, it was common.
Helping others navigate what he was navigating.
Precisely. Then, in another brainstorming session, the name Retirepreneur clicked into place. He thought about terms like solopreneur, but felt people our age, his words, wanted community. They wanted to belong to something, share the journey.
Retirepreneur. I like it. It captures that blend.
He thought so too. He ran it past a friend in marketing who loved it. So bang, he bought the domain name, cost him $500 apparently, and by April 2025, he'd secured the trademark.
Moving fast once the idea solidified.
Really fast, translating the idea into action. He was clearly all in, just like his philosophy.
So going back to school wasn't just personal growth, it literally became the incubator for his business. Was that planned?
Maybe not explicitly planned from day one, but it became this amazing synergy. His entrepreneurship classes required business plans.
Practical application.
Exactly. So he wasn't just daydreaming about Retirepreneur. He was actively building its foundation, testing the concepts, refining the strategy as part of his coursework. That structure probably pushed him further, faster, than if he'd just been tinkering on his own.
That makes a huge difference. And did this academic setting lead to any early wins for Retirepreneur?
It sure did, pretty quickly, actually. In November 2024, his professor really pushed him to enter something called the Luby Microgrant Pitch Competition.
Okay.
Curt pitched Retirepreneur and won $5,000 in grants.
Wow. That's fantastic validation.
Huge validation. And it's funny, Curt kept saying, look, this is a lifestyle business, not some huge, scalable, big idea looking for venture capital.
Right, managing expectations.
But his professors were so impressed, they basically insisted he enter the main big idea competition anyway.
Pushing him further.
Definitely. And this whole process also forced personal growth in other areas. Like he really struggled with formal presentations in one of his communication classes.
Oh yeah, public speaking jitters, that's common.
Totally. Apparently his brother saw some practice videos and joked he looked like a hostage.
Oh dear. That's rough. But relatable. Did he talk about how he overcame that fear?
He mentioned just intense practice and preparation. Knowing the material wasn't enough, he had to get comfortable delivering it, performing it almost. It really shows that getting comfortable with discomfort is key to growth, right? You push the boundaries, they expand.
Absolutely. Practice, practice, practice.
And it all paid off. There was this amazing full circle moment, as he called it. April 16th, 2025.
Huh?
Exactly 1 year after he got that acceptance email to UF.
The one that was both thrilling and terrifying.
That's the one. On that exact anniversary, Retirepreneur was chosen as one of the 16 semifinalists for the Big Idea competition.
Incredible timing. What a journey in just 1 year.
Isn't it? From academic probation to semifinalist?
Okay, so that leads to the final competition itself. January 2025, the Big Idea Gator Business Plan competition. A 30-minute live presentation. Curt admitted this terrified him. Why is he still terrified after all he'd been through? He was a CFO.
It's interesting, isn't it? Being a CFO means presenting data, strategy, often to people you know, like a board. This was different.
How so?
This was pitching a vision, his personal passion project, to strangers in a very public, competitive setting. It's a different kind of exposure, maybe more vulnerability involved.
Selling the dream, not just the numbers.
Exactly. And the amazing part is, while he didn't make it to the final round, he absolutely conquered that fear. He did the presentation. He faced it head on.
That's the real win, maybe.
That's what his friends told him. And I think it's spot on. One said, congrats, you already won. The experience, the contacts you made, that lasts forever. Another said, you got in the arena, you competed. Most people just talk about doing stuff like this.
Powerful perspective.
It really is. It reminds you that the value is often in the process, the growth, the courage shown, not just the final prize. And Curt and Shari, showing real class, stayed an extra day just to support the finalists.
Nice touch.
Yeah, and it seems his spirit didn't go unnoticed. At the awards, they actually gave him a special Entrepreneurial Spirit Award and another $1,000 grant, acknowledging his journey and passion.
That's wonderful. A fitting recognition. So the competition phase is over, but the Retirepreneur journey continues.
Oh, absolutely. It's very much ongoing. He's actively building out the Retirepreneur platform using Kajabi. That's a popular tool for online courses and memberships.
Right, building the community space.
Exactly. He's creating content, getting ready to launch a membership platform. And personally, another milestone is coming up. He's set to officially graduate with his master's degree in December 2025.
Fantastic. Closing that loop.
And get this, all 4 of his kids, their spouses, and his 9 grandchildren are planning to be there to celebrate with him. A real family affair.
That must mean the world to him.
You bet. It really brings it all together. And he summed up his approach so well, saying, I am actually a very humble man, and I don't want to ever be seen as bragging. I have the same fears and uncertainties as anyone else, but once I commit, I am all in.
Once I commit, I am all in. That seems to be the thread through this whole story.
It really is. That commitment turns those feels and uncertainties into fuel for action.
What an incredible story. Curt Roese goes from CFO burnout, that anticlimactic retirement, navigates that familiar void, and emerges as this purpose-driven retirepreneur. And Shari, his wife, clearly a vital partner in all of it.
Absolutely. Her support seems crucial throughout.
It's so much more than just starting a business, isn't it? It's about tackling regrets, embracing learning at any age, and just continuing to grow, living fully.
That's the heart of it. That's the message we really hope resonates. Retirement doesn't have to be an endpoint. It can genuinely be a doorway to a whole new chapter, filled with possibility.
A new beginning.
Exactly. So maybe the question for you, listening right now, is this. Is there a familiar void stirring in you somewhere? Something waiting to be filled with a new challenge, a new passion, a new chapter? And inspired by Curt's story, maybe facing that old regret or taking that first step towards learning something new? What's one small thing you could do, maybe even today, to start writing your next chapter? To start living with, as Curt says, No regrets.
A powerful thought to leave us with.
Because ultimately, as Curt's journey shows us, it's not just about hearing inspiring stories, it's about finding the spark to create your own.